So as I was saying in the first video, I had last today works 1 week since I did something I never thought I would do. Um, Obviously, by the description, you can tell this is about adopting a cat. Um, Growing up, we really weren't a cat family. We were a dog family. We kind of sort of had a cat, but it was an outside cat. Um, so, yeah, so I always grew up a dog person. I love dogs. Had a saltwater reef tank for many years. Never thought that I would like a cat. And then, uh, I ended up moving from a house into an apartment where a dog really isn't feasible. Um, Kind of limited on space, so a fish tank really, again, isn't the logical choice for a pet. And I kind of tried to narrow it down to what I wanted to get. And then, I don't know, I just kind of woke up one morning and I wanted a cat. Um, and so I'm going to kind of pause that there and I'm going to tell a story. Um, and it all ends up coming back to how I um, ended up finding the cat that I ultimately adopted. Um, so back in February, I had a roommate, and through some unfortunate circumstances, he lied and failed to mention that he had been evicted from his apartment. So basically, I became homeless. He had a dog that was his ex roommate's dog and had basically been abandoned. Um, I actually contacted the police and asked them what to do about this poor dog because I felt like he was getting ready to abandon her again. I was obviously not in a position to take her in. Um, so the police suggested that I reach out to one of the local rescues, and I was worried, because I had given this guy my money, and I was like, I can't afford to pay a fee if there's a fee to give up a dog, especially one that's not mine. So the cop said, nope, just tell them that you spoke to me, and if they want, they can call. Well, anyway, so long story short, I reach out to the rescue. They agreed to take the dog. The guy just has to get him up there, and that's it. Me and my ex-roommate parted ways, and he ended up having stolen all of my stuff, and he was coming down on charges. And so the problem the police were having was they couldn't, even though he admitted to taking the stuff, they couldn't tell what he did with it, so they couldn't charge him with it. So I reached out to social media and posted that, hey, I'm looking for this stuff. If you've bought anything from this guy recently, contact me or the police, yada, yada, yada. Well, I end up getting a message from someone, and this person says, hey, by the way, he dropped the dog off and blah, 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 blah. And this is what he said. We know it's ridiculous. So I was like, yeah, it's kind of not cool. Well, anyway, this person and I, we ended up striking up a friendship. And, she does a lot of reptile stuff with the rescue. And so her and I actually started talking mostly about that because I was interested in getting like a turtle or something. And as time went on, I kind of just like gave up on even getting a pet. And one day I just got to where I was like, I just need something to take care of. Like, I work all night. I come home to an empty apartment and I just want something that I can take care of. And so I started talking to her and we started talking about cats. And I remember asking her um, if the rescue had any cats up on, the website or Facebook, and she says, well, they're actually pretty terrible about keeping them up to date. She was like, but I mean, there might be some. So I go and I start looking, and I was looking at all the cats, and they were just adorable. And but nothing was really sticking out as to what I think I might be interested in. And then I get partway down the page, and there is this one cat. And I just, from the moment I saw this cat, I was like, man, that's the cat. Like, I don't know what it is, but something drew me to this particular cat. I had a feeling. And I took a screenshot. I sent it to my friend and said, this is the cat that I want. And I forget her exact reaction, but she was like, she got it really excited. Um, Apparently, this particular cat is, if I remember correctly, and she can correct me if I make a mistake, but this particular cat had been dropped off at her house, and she actually fostered and named this cat. And so I filled out the application, and it was over Labor Day weekend. So I didn't hear anything right away. So I figured, because it was Friday before Labor Day, and I didn't hear anything right back. So I messaged my friend and I said, hey, I filled out the application. I haven't heard anything. She asked if I got the landlord approval form. So, yep, got all that stuff. Landlord approved it, signed off on the paper. So I send a picture to she says, well, send a picture to the lady that coordinates the adoptions, and I'll put a good word in. And did that. Within 5 minutes, I had a response from the lady at the rescue, and she said, anytime you want to come down and get her, you can. And so it actually took about another week, because I wanted to make sure, I had, because I didn't have a litter box, I didn't have any toys, I had nothing. So I wanted to make sure that I had everything that this cat would need prior to coming to my home. And let's just say I became very familiar with Chewy. I didn't realize an initial investment on a cat for toys and food and everything else was expensive, as expensive as it was, but hey. So I got her all the necessities, got some toys, litter box, and and some food, obviously. I took some advice from a coworker who has a cat, and so then I was originally supposed to pick her up this past Monday, but then I found out that the rescue was open on Sunday, so I went down there, and I adopted her. And uh, I didn't quite know what I was in for. I kind of figured, oh, she's at the rescue, so she'll just be chill. She doesn't. Um, so I brought her home, and the first day, obviously she's in a new place. There's a new person around her. She's scared, so I she came out for a little bit. Um, I remember like taking a nap and waking up to her standing on my nightstand next to my bed, staring at me. Um, and the next day, someone had come over and she got scared, and I didn't see her for almost 24 hours. Uh, in fact, I don't even think she that night she didn't even sleep in the bed with me. And then eventually she started coming out a little bit, and I ended up getting her I found the biggest cat tree I could on Chewy, and got that for her. And like slowly but surely, I just woke her up. Slowly but surely, each day, um, she would come a little more out of her shell. Um, she found her spot on the couch. She found her spot on the bed. Um, and then it's gotten to where, I mean, practically she owns this place. The only purpose I serve is to pay the rent on it so she can live here, according to her. But what have I learned? I've learned a few things. I've learned that cats, unlike dogs, do not care about happiness that they give you. She, like there's been a couple times with stuff that's been going on that I've come home from work, that I've dealt with some other issues, and I was feeling pretty bummed out. And just petting her made me forget about everything. Before I brought her home, I would wake up. I would wake up, get something to eat, get a shower, go to work, come home, get a shower, go to sleep, and repeat it the next day. Well, since bringing her home, I've also learned that it's harder to go to work because I want to stay here and play with her. Her and I have gotten into a little routine of playing. Like I wake up, I give her her second little meal of the day. Now, yesterday, or was it Friday, she was about as bad could be. Like, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say she was bad. She was a cat being a cat. And she was into everything. She even knocked one of my collectibles off the stand that it was on and broke it. Fortunately, I was able to fix it. but then she like tried to chew my $300 or two I'm sorry $200 shoes, and so it was it's definitely been a learning process. I'm trying to get her to not jump on the counters because I don't want her to get burnt with the with this on the stove. um, she likes to make biscuits, and she likes to make biscuits on the couch, and she's already scratched it up a little bit. um, but it's also taught me patience, because I keep telling myself that just a week ago she didn't have a home. She was sleeping on a concrete floor. um, you know it was God love these rescues, because they try their hardest, to but obviously, when I think they said that there was 95 cats in the room that she was in. um or was it 48, and then in another room there was 95? I can't remember, but God love her. She she's only 15 months old, so she's still basically a kitten. She's starting to get to her teenage years, I guess, and as far as cats go. Um, but I've also known that, like, realized that, just even petting her, it just makes all my worries go away. And I wake up, and the first thing I got to do is get her nightly dinner. And after she eats it, I wash her bowl out, and I get her fresh water. And all night long when I'm at work, all I can think of is getting back to her. And I'm pretty sure she's not thinking about me at night. She's just thinking how she has the run of the house. Um, so she's taught me love. She's taught me to be upset. She has taught me patience. And she's taught me that cats, unlike dogs, don't care. And like I said, even the other day when she was into everything, and if I had hair, I mean, I do have hair, I just shaved my head, but I would have wanted to pull it out. So she's definitely been beneficial. And if you are able to adopt a cat, I totally recommend it. I have a good friend that him and his girlfriend have recently adopted a cat, and he and I used to talk about video games and movies and technology and whatnot. And now we're trading links to products for our cats. And it's funny, two grown men, and we're just gaga over a cat. um but that's okay. um and I spent way more money on her than I ever thought that I would on a cat. And at the end of the day, I just didn't care because even in the short time, the happiness that she has brought me, the smile that she has put on my face when I play with her, um, or if she can sense that I'm having a bad day or something, and she just hops up on me, and wants pets, um, you can't put a price on that. And it kind of goes full circle because I actually started my life off as a throwaway, as an orphan. Um, and I was adopted. Now, I haven't adopted a human, but, it's just been, the last week has been just so wonderful. I can't even begin to explain how much her being here has meant. I felt bad a few times because she gets under my feet, and one time I stepped on her. Um, Yet another time I fell asleep on the couch and didn't realize that she had gone under the couch when I woke up and I went to put the leg rest down and she kind of got pinched. So now it's made me more aware of where she is. Um, um, but it's been fun, and I just want to give a shout out to anyone that rescues cats, adopts cats, or any animal really for that matter. Um, like my friend that fostered Athena, she fosters cats, and I told her again, like, they do the work of saints because a lot they give up so much of their own time, they give up their own money to take these animals off the streets, and if even only for a short time before they go to the shelter or something, they get them off the streets and give them a warm place to stay or a cool place to stay. They give them a meal that they didn't have to fight for. um, and like I said, they don't get compensated for it. They just strictly do this out of the kindness of their heart. um, and they're amazing people. They're just absolutely amazing people. And yeah, so if you can, um, adopt adopt a cat. She's, I mean, right now I think she's just being as adorable as she can. She's sleeping. I don't think I can sneak over there with. I can try, but let me see if I can sneak over here. Nope, she woke up. But that's her and her. That is her cat tree. So, you know, at the end of the day, she taught me to be happy again. And that's the best thing in life. Isn't that right, baby girl? So, anyway, that's what I've learned in the last week since adopting a cat.